House of Justice, 106 West 145th Street. Call somebody. Tell them the action is on the air. I'd like you to get on your feet right now for the president and founder of the National Action Network and the birthday man today, the Reverend Dr. Al Sharpton. No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
What do we want?
Justice.
What do we want?
Justice.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
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 Hug the person next to you, tell him you love him. Today is your day. This moment is yours. Reverend Sharpton, we all love you, yes we do. So we sing this song for you. Simply the best. Better than all. Better than anyone. Anyone I have. Stuck on your heart. Hang on everywhere. No one will tear us apart. Reverend Sharpton, we love you anyway. So we sing happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Everybody say happy birthday. Happy birthday. Reverend Sharpton. Happy birthday. Sing it again. Happy, happy. Say it again. Happy birthday. Reverend Sharpton. Simply the best. National Action Network Change Choir. Give them a big hand. Give them a big hand. Certainly we're happy to be here another Saturday morning for the Saturday Action Rally, and for you that are here live at the House of Justice, 106 West 145th Street in the village of Harlem, and you that are listening live on 1190 WLIB AM in New York, or that are watching us live stream on www.nationalactionnetwork.net. We're happy to be with you another Saturday morning where the action is. Give a hand to our presider, Attorney Michael Harder, and to our musical director, Brother Brevon Neal. Let me thank all of you that have wished me happy birthday today, and certainly, as Attorney Hardy said, there are other birthdays this week. Sister Aisha Shakur celebrated her birthday, and Dr. Marcus Bright celebrated her birthday, and we are celebrating this Tuesday. Dr. Joseph Lowry will be 94 years old. And on Thursday, Reverend Jesse Jackson will be 74 years old. So I feel right young and spry. But we ought not take every year for granted. Every year you ought to thank God that you got something that he didn't owe you, but he gave it to you anyhow. And I'm grateful to God to see another birthday and to see it continuing in good health and strength. And what the old folk used to say, clothed in my right mind. Let me thank all of you again that have wished that, and I talked to Reverend Jackson earlier this morning. Bill Clinton even sent me a letter, the president. and others. But the big highlight for my birthday is tonight, the airing nationally of the Triumph Awards. And I could not have planned it when we were doing the Triumph Awards. Rachel Norling will tell you it was originally supposed to air next week, and they changed the date, not even knowing it was on my birthday. So tonight on TV1 at 8 p.m. Eastern, the Triumph Awards, John Legend and Tyrese and T.I. and Estelle and Legacy and so many others are on, and we honor Reverend Joseph Lowry. You want to watch this tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern on TV1, and then tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern, Politics Nation with Al Sharpton turns to the airwaves on MSNBC. And tomorrow morning, my guests are Hillary Clinton, and then I'm also talking with the president of Liberia, the Honorable Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. She's the first elected woman head of state on the continent of Africa. And we talk about Africa and Liberia and the debt of this country to Liberia. Liberia was founded by freed slaves. And a lot of it, I'm going next Saturday, I'm leaving, I'll be here for the first part of the rally, going straight there, but I'm going to South Africa. I'm going to South Africa and then Cuba. South Africa, Essence Magazine, that has a music festival, all of you know, every year in New Orleans, is now starting one in South Africa. Wow. And they're going to continue the one in New Orleans, and then later in the year, they're going to do one in South Africa. So for the last several months, they've been planning this and asked me to come and speak for the opening, because every festival for 21 years they've had in New Orleans, I spoke. And they wanted me to speak at the beginning of this one, which is why I won't be in Washington. We support what's going to Washington. I'm going straight to South Africa, and right after the rally here next week. And in my conversations with President Sirleaf, she was talking about how we don't deal with the interconnectedness of our history. A lot of us just get caught up in slogans. And sloganeering activists and sloganeering students don't go but surface deep. In order to get some real knowledge, you've got to go beneath the surface. Liberia was founded by free slaves. The capital city of Liberia was named Monrovia after the 5th President of the United States, James Monroe, which means that when we be talking about relating to Africa, we act as if there's not been a cross relationship between us and them. And some in different parts of the regions had different results. Because some of us wouldn't have wanted James Monroe to be named in Africa. But we act like it's all one thing. Well, I relate to my homeland, Africa. What part of Africa? Under what political arrangement? She talked about how women need to be respected more and regarded. Well, this is a woman head of state, won a Nobel Prize. She said, but then you've got to govern. Because I took over after the war laws had run Liberia, and had the country on a growth, and then we got hit with Ebola. Hello? When you get hit with Ebola, you need more than folk in the States balling up their fist talking about I relate to the homeland. You got to govern. And part of the problem that we have is that some of us are not ready for the next step. The Bible says in Ecclesiastes, everything there's a season. Some of y'all are stuck on one season and cannot move on to what is in store for you because you're locked into what you already had. God got more for you. The question is, are you prepared to receive it? Hello. So I want y'all to watch it in the morning. Again, tonight, Triumph Awards, and tomorrow morning, Politics Nation. I remember 5 years ago when we started the Triumph Awards at Lincoln Center. We never, at that time, dreamed it would be a 2-hour TV show and that we would be able to build it. Just like people never dreamed we'd have our own show on MSNBC. I keep telling y'all, God got more for you than you are prepared for. That's why you need to prepare yourself so that when you get that, then you can receive it. And don't forget to bring others behind you so they can grow and fulfill the spots that you make vacant. I remember when I was a kid and used to come up to Harlem, see Adam Clayton Powell. I was 10, 11 years old, but I loved Adam Clayton Powell. And I thought about it the other day when Ashley, my daughter, brought 3 of the young Huddle kids down to watch me filming Politics Nation and met Hillary Clinton and questioned her. Where's Chris? Raise your hand. Little Chris. I should say little big Chris. Said, let me ask you a question, Miss Clinton. And she said, you got your little prodigy here, Rev Mal. Well, that's just how we was. But if they grow up not being awed by presidential candidates and secretaries of state, they will grow up understanding they can hold them accountable.
Yes, sir.
It's about getting no autograph. It's about getting some legislation and some policy. So by me growing up in breadbasket with Bill Jones and Jesse Jackson and them giving me access to people in power, I wasn't impressed with them. So if I grew up fighting Rockefeller, Andrew Cuomo was light stuff for me when I got grown. And that's how we do with the Huddle kids here and the youth here. Y'all got to prepare the generations coming that they must deal with things at ease if they're inheriting the mantle of leadership. One of the reasons why people that inherit money do well is because they are raised to be comfortable with money. So when you got a second or third generation millionaire, not that they're smarter than broke folk, is they're used to money. A lot of y'all hit a lotto or a number and blow the money. One that you were dumb is you wasn't used to it. So you go out and buy what you want and neglect what you need. Yellow. Because you're not accustomed to it. And that's what we must do is groom activists here from a young age so they're accustomed to it. Accustomed to being in the media, accustomed to meeting people with power. Some of y'all see something on TV one time and lose your mind. But you must become accustomed because the more you can adjust, the higher God can raise you. Yes, sir. And people can tell when you're not adjusted. You can tell a man when he get the first pretty woman in his life. He be locking her in the house. Who that on the phone? What you looking at him for? Because he ain't used to nobody look halfway decent. Because he done got flipped out. He think everybody flipped out. You ain't used to nothing. I get a new car, wash it all day long. He ain't used to nothing. What you doing, washing my car? You just washed it. Yeah, but the wind blew a little lint on it. So I want y'all to keep those announcements in mind. We are certainly prayerful for the victims in Oregon. I'm going to talk a little about that in a minute. And we are also continuing to pray for the family of Reverend Dale Shields, whose funeral is going on as I speak at his church in Queens. For many years, he was a voice and a broadcaster and a faith leader unmatched in our city. Give a big hand to the legacy and memory of Reverend Dale Shields. Certainly, I want to thank Reverend Botany and the 19 chapters in New Jersey of National Action Network. They threw me a pre-birthday party the other night in Newark. And Mayor Ross Baraka and others and Reverend Bartley did a wonderful job at black-owned restaurant downtown Newark. And I was teasing them. I remember when I go to Newark and they put me in the back of the police van. They had the police waiting for me coming through the tunnel and escorted me into Newark. I didn't know whether to get used to that one or not. But I want to thank them and all of our listeners that are listening to LIB in the New Jersey area that came out, and then so many of our young leaders that are on the rise now. When I look and see the work Reverend McCall is doing with Reverend Minister Foy and Stephen Marshall and others, Janae Ingram, it makes us know that National Action Network is in good hands for the next generations to come. And in that spirit, I see one of our outstanding leaders in the audience who heads National Action Network in Michigan and is head of our national expansion. He flew in to surprise me for my birthday, the Reverend Charles Williams. Come on up, Rev. Give Rev Williams a hand. And his wife, come on up, Mrs. Williams. I'm very happy to see them on my birthday. Give them a big hand. And glad to have them in the house now. They have Saturday morning rallies in Detroit, but he wanted to be with us in New York today for my birthday, and I'm happy he is here. And I think, I gotta check this out with Attorney Hardy, because I think that Williams and Foy and McCall and Marshall and Dominique and Ash and Janae and them, I think they get in these little youth huddles and say, now, I see he's turned 61, how's he doing? Is his heart all right? How's he walking? How many more years you think he gonna hold on? I don't know if they come to greet me or to have the meeting. You get to a certain age, they start sizing you up. When you're younger, Esau, they tell me, you look casket sharp, but you get a little older, that ain't no compliment. People tell me now you casket sharp. I say, well, what you trying to say? You can say a little better than that. But one of the things that I think that you learn in life is that one of the things that I was saying to some of the young ministers, young preachers, once you understand your purpose in life and your direction in life, you can succeed. The reason most folk don't succeed is because they've never decided who they are and what they're about. And you cannot succeed in a non-described agenda. You can't arrive without a destination. And you meet guys out here all the time that are in everything and achieve nothing. There's a term, you know, jack of all trades, master of none. And one of the things that I learned in growing, that's why our young professionals are important and our huddle is important, our youth department is important, is to refine in your mind not only the cause of the movement, but your role in your own life. Whether you're going to be a businessman or woman or an elected official or an actor, whatever it is you're going to be that. And whatever it is you're going to be, there's an upside and a downside to it. Problem is you want to be with something that you're always up. So you run from thrill to thrill, but never define who you are because you're afraid to take the downside of your choice. So you become a thrill freak, addicted to thrills and committed to nothing. Thrill freaks. That's folk that don't ever have a serious relationship. They just date everybody because you're a thrill freak. And the same thing with some of your activists. I ain't with this, I ain't with that. I'm whatever is thrilling at the moment. They got a little crowd, I'm with that. But what does it stand for? And what is it grounded in? The message that the disciples gave. Peter was going into a town after Jesus had ascended. And there was a lame man there. And they said to him, I want y'all to watch this. They said to them, the lame man is there. They told him to get up and walk. Yes, sir. And the lame man got up and walked. Now, this is after Jesus had ascended. So I want y'all to understand, this is biblical what I'm talking about. When the man got up and walked, the crowd said, look at this, they are miracle workers. He said, no, we went in the name of Moses. In the name of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Moses, and in Jesus' name. First of all, we are connected to a legacy of miracle. And out of our connectedness, out of our continuum, we have the strength to make the lame walk. Everybody in the Bible is connected to something ahead of it. You don't meet a prophet that said it all started with me. Come on. Every prophet, I'm in the tradition of Abraham, Isaac, Joseph, all the way through the Bible. Every prophet from Amos to Micah and all are lined up one behind another. Moses followed that tradition. Then they followed the law of Moses. So here you are now in 2015, and you all of a sudden got to start something new. You a new Negro. You ain't hooked to nothing. Everything before you ain't nothing. You a new Negro. You against traditions and legacy. New Negro, lost. Like God created the heaven and earth and all in between and gave us everybody from Abraham down. But all of that meant nothing. We was waiting on you. And you really believe that? We got a new way. Anything that is not grounded in something that is bigger than them, before them and after them, is worthless. I'm going to say that again. Anything that's not grounded in something that's before them and will be after them is worthless. The most you could be is a strong link in a long chain. And if that is not good enough for you, then you can't serve. That's what's wrong with a lot of our people that just become shooting stars. Because they're more caught up, first of all, they're more caught up in being seen than in getting something done. Well, you know, I left there because they wouldn't give me my limelight. They didn't give me the credit I wanted. They didn't give me my space. Okay, fine. What was you going to do with your space? Well, I was I mean, what is it you want to say? Well, I say I'm kissing him in the back. Folk come to our rally. We having a rally about this issue. Well, I want to speak. Let some of us outside of NAN speak. All right, y'all want to address the issue? What's the issue? Then how do you want to speak? I don't get up having eloquent ignorance at my rallies. We need to be heard. You need to have something to say. But we are more caught up in a culture that have made you celebrate celebrity than seek leadership. And you got a bunch of celebrities running around acting like pastors and leaders. On my birthday, I said what I want to say today. I watch these guys preaching, and I'm saying, Stephen, what is this? Ain't no message, ain't no depth. It's a whole lot of hollering and performing. Wait a minute, give me 5 minutes, I'm gonna shout you in a minute. Don't shout yet. You ain't said nothing to shout about. And how you scheduling shouting? If shouting is because I become grateful and happy and the Spirit moved me, how you gonna tell me don't shout yet? And then you go, now you gonna shout on this. Now you gonna predict the shout. So it's all a performance. It's a holler and a shout and a jump. It's a hip. It's nothing. I'm gonna shout you in a minute. No, you ain't gonna shout me because I ain't gonna be here in a minute. Where is the connection to continuing the will of God through us? That's why, you know, when I was growing up, right here in New York, brother read my Bible today, I became preacher at Ford, youth director of Operation Breadbasket in New York at 13. I come out the King tradition. I continue what I learned at the feet of people like Bill Jones and Wyatt Walker and Jesse Jackson. I don't apologize for that. Some folk consider that bad, some good, don't matter to me. That's who I am. Big crowd, little crowd, I am not going to guess the direction God brought me. Now you go follow the crowd. I'll be here when you and the crowd get back. Because I done met folk all my life that have said, this ain't gonna work, that ain't right, y'all this, y'all that, and they gone. We still here. Next year, Nan will be 25 years old. I've seen a lot of groups. I've seen a lot of groups in 25 years. Come and go. And I've learned don't react to noise and ego tripping. Be grounded in something deeper. And you'll last long. I was looking this week, I thought about I used to recall when I saw this would happen in Oregon. We are in a culture that has made guns and violence appealing, and then wonder why we end up with folk continue to shoot people. You've had 4 mass shootings this year. But I deal with it on Politics Nation in the morning. But let's deal with the fact you've had all these shootings every day in our community. 2,300 people been shot in Chicago this year, and we just at October 3rd. 2,300. But it's become normal. Anytime you living and gunfire outside, don't disturb you, oh, they must be shooting again. You become so desensitized till the value of human life doesn't even matter to you. As long as you get by, it's all right. And this madness, this kind of insensitivity, this coldness is what we must confront. Yes, we must change the gun laws, but we must also change the mentality where our people feel that we have to live under this. Well, where did it come from? Well, when you went from young folk wearing the Malcolm X t-shirt to Scarface. When you went from your X cap to your Scarface cap, you raised the generation to start glorifying gangsters and thugs. Hello. Your favorite TV shows and your favorite movies are thugs and gangsters. And you wonder why your kid wants to be that. Because that's what you raised up as examples to them. Hello. There's a difference in growing up looking up the drug dealers on television and in growing up looking up the doctors. We growing up Sidney Poitier and all the too clean, Uncle Tom's all that, but they raise an aspiration in us. They raise a level of excellence in us. Because we could look at them and say, we can be more than what you think. But now with a black president, they got you watching drug dealers as entertainment. Like you can be entertained by folk committing chemical genocide on our community. It's not funny, it is not a joke, and it has broke down the character of our community. This madness is what have become the seeds of what we are seeing all over the country. Well, it's all right, y'all gonna shoot up black folk in Chicago. Well, now they shoot everywhere.
Right. That's right.
You wouldn't hear us. We's occupying corners. Now they shooting everywhere.
That's right.
Well, you're NRA, everybody think that stops a bad guy is a good guy with a gun. Well, how you gonna have a good guy with a gun sitting up in a community college in the middle of the day and don't nobody to come?
Come on.
How you defend yourself against the unknown?
Come on.
How you sitting up in the movie holding hands with your wife and a guy shoots you from the back? I don't care how many guns you got.
Come on.
That's why the Bible said that a man sow. That you sow. The bad thing that you plant, that's what you reap. You cannot plant orange seeds and grow apples. You cannot plant cantaloupe and grow watermelon. You can't plant romanticizing guns and reap a society of peace. You're going to grow what you plant. you end up, when you get caught out there, you try to act like it's not you. That go back to the original family. Cain killed his brother. Why? He was jealous. Y'all get through all these conspiracy theories. Cain killed Abel out of envy and jealousy. A lot of folk got all these stories about you, rumors about me. A lot of it is just envy and jealousy. As old as Cain and Abel. Well, I don't like Red Mal. I don't trust this. I don't know. Well, what did he do? I just don't something feel right. I just don't agree with that. My spirit ain't with that. Just something ain't right. What ain't right is envy and jealousy. I know what's wrong with you. You haven't answered the call of what God had for you, and you mad that I answered the call that God had for me. Now, I've had dark days. I've had setbacks and knockdowns. But I know that if I answered the call, he didn't call me to have days that would always be bright, but he promised me he'd never leave me. And you don't have enough guts to trust him. The only credit I have is not where I've gone, but I trusted him. And when you trust him, he can take you to higher heights because you know you're not operating on powers by yourself. Cain, rather than submit to the purpose God had for him, he was envious and jealous of his brother. And slayed his brother. Just like they slayed them in Oregon this week, Bob. And then here comes the question that I raised to the right way. Where's your brother? God already knew. But God wanted to solicit the answer. Where is your brother? And the first thing he did is went to denial. Why? Why? What will you ask me for? Am I my brother's keeper? Well, that, Charles Williams, is the problem we got today. That's what some of the problem we have with the preachers today. Why ain't you helping us fight to get jobs? Why ain't you helping us fight police reform? Why aren't you helping us straighten out the school? That ain't got nothing to do with me. Am I my brother's keeper? I don't get involved in all of that. I just get the shout out. You come here to get your praise and then send people back out into the same conditions that they were in because you think you ain't your brother's keeper because you're an entertainer. You're not a minister called by God. You come to make us feel good for a couple of hours and then return our misery. You're a form of escapism rather than to deal with the fact you're your brother's keeper and to address the conditions in which he lived. Well, Rev, I can't draw no crowd like that. Well, I'd rather be a doorkeeper in the house of my God than to dwell in the temples of the wicked. Rev, man, how many people y'all gonna get with that? It'll be enough. We had enough to put voting rights on the book. We had enough to put civil rights on the book. We had enough to put public accommodation. We never had the biggest crowd, but we made the biggest difference. And the only reason you run around flying first class and living in the suburbs is because some of us with little crowds open up the doors for you. That's why I tell you, if you commit it, God will bless you. And if you're not, you can get all the thrills in the world, but it won't satisfy. Because thrills are only temporary. That's why junkies get caught. Because they got to have the next thrill. They made no drug that you ain't going to come down sooner or later. They made no alcohol that you ain't going to wake up sooner or later. Ain't no permanent high. You coming down. And you can get as high as you want. When you come down, you're going to be as broke as you was when you went up. And some of you use religion or misuse religion to escape dealing with the reality of being your brother's keeper. So your kid is getting high, and you going to a church that just gets you high. How was church today? I got my praise on. Did you get your ring? Because the marshal will be here in the morning. Did you get your health care? Did you get your guns out the neighborhood? Did y'all address that? You just got your throat on. You got your thrill for the moment. Show me in the Bible where God just sent somebody to shout for. Hello. Moses didn't shout the children of Israel. He liberated them. He didn't tell Pharaoh, let me shout the children. He said, let my people go. But the reason you don't want to be connected to the tradition is because then you got to live up to the standards of that tradition. So you got to make something new because there are no rules in your new world. You do it as you go. But if you have to deal with a standard of legacy, it might make you have to work and get something done. And that is why I want this generation coming behind me to understand you ain't going to get all the pats on the back that others will temporarily get. But you'll be here a lot longer. Because the Bible says, if you're faithful over a few things, they're going to laugh at you, they're going to mock you, they're going to say, I don't know why you messing with that, run over here with us. But if you're faithful over a few things, I'll make you rule over many. Sometimes God will test you by seeing if you can take the ridicule. And if you can take the ridicule, then you can make it to the glory land. Some of y'all can't get the glory because you can't take the test. Now, tests are not easy. If you've been through school and you can fly through the test, then you don't know how good you are. Test is what will make you turn the TV off. Tests will make you turn your cell phone off and make you really get down and study and dig deep in to find out what you really got. I remember Muhammad Ali and I were talking one night down in King's office when he was here. And I said, champ, you know, I grew up, you were one of my idols. In fact, one of his wives came to the birthday thing for me the other night, you know. And we were sitting there, and he said, yeah, Sharpton. He said, well, that's wonderful to hear. I said, yeah. I said, let me ask you something. I said, I remember when I was a little boy, about 10, you won the title. And you yelled that night. I went to see him. It's one of the few things I remember my father brought me to before he left, was we went to see Closed Circuit Cassius Clay versus Sonny Liston. And when Clay won, he threw his arms up and said, "I am the greatest." He said, yeah, I remember that night. It was in Miami, Florida. I said, "How did you know you were the greatest?" He said, "Well, let me tell you the truth, Sharpton. When I beat Sonny Liston, who was an awesome, unbeaten champion, could knock you out with either fist. People were scared to get in the ring. He knocked the former champ, Floyd Patterson, down like he was a rag doll. He said, when I beat him, I said I am the greatest, but I wasn't great yet." He said, "I went on and was heavyweight champion. And I stood up to the United States government because I said I wasn't going to Vietnam. I wasn't going to fight in the Vietnamese war." He said, "They took my title. They took my money. There were days I couldn't pay the utility bill. And then I came back, and one night in Zaire, Africa, under the moonlight of the mother country, I met a young man in the ring who was as big and awesome as Sonny Liston was 10 years before. And I couldn't fight like I used to. I laid on the ropes and fought him. And I knocked him out, named George Foreman. I said again, I am the greatest." He said, "But I wasn't great yet." I said, "No." He said, "Let me tell you when I knew I was great." I said, "When?" He said, "I went one night to fight an unknown guy. Somebody nobody ever heard of. Had come out the Navy called Ken Norton." He said, "In the second round, he reached back and broke my jaw. We had 10 more rounds to go. He said, I danced with blood dripping. I could taste my own blood in my mouth. My teeth were hanging on the side. He said, you ain't great, Sharpton, till you've been knocked down, till your friends walk away, till you taste your own blood, but somehow you keep on fighting through it all. That's when you know you're great. You keep wanting easy fights. You don't know how good you are till you're left by yourself, till your loved ones abandon you, your family deny you, and it look like it's all over. And then somehow you trust God anyhow. That kind of faith is what God blessed. When there's nobody there but you and God, and know that God will make a way, that's when He elevates you. You ain't got that strength. Stand by yourself. But when you can stand, when all around you has fallen, that's when God can make good great. When you bear the burdens and the pain, but know that God wouldn't have brought you this far to leave you now, that's when you know that you can pass the test. I tell you today that are listening to me that there's more for you than what you can see. But you got to pass the test to get it. Your future is brighter than your past. You just got to be willing to pay the price. Frederick Douglass said that in life, you may not get all that you paid for, but you're going to pay for all you get. And I tell you this, I let you go. One thing I tell y'all on my birthday, I've seen many things. I started as a boy preacher. I'm not no boy no more. I went on to be a teenage activist. I'm not a teenager no more. I'm 61 years old today, and many things I've seen. Many things. I've seen the best, and I've seen the worst. I've stood in malls and watched mothers identify their children shot by police. I've stood there and watched people line up and stripped in Vieques federal jail, stripped down like criminals because they were fighting against the asthma that was caused by the Navy. I've seen some bad stuff. I've seen people get on stands and lie and rob people of their freedom. But I've seen good things. I've seen James Brown at his height and Michael Jackson at his height. And I sat on the platform when Obama was inaugurated, and I stood in the square when Mandela became president of South Africa. I've seen good things, and I've seen bad things. I've seen ups and downs. I've stayed in the best suites, and I've slept on the gutter with the homeless. But there's one thing I've never seen. In all 61 years, there's one thing I've never seen. I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor their seed beg for bread. There's one thing I've never seen. I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor their seed begging bread. God will make a way for his children. I've never seen him fail yet. Every time it looks like it's over, God will bring you back. He walks with me. He talks with me. He tells me I'm his own. God will. God will. God will make a way for his children. Everybody sing. Everybody sing. Everybody sing. Of the movement, there may be somebody that came to the rally, hear us on radio, catch some of our work on television, but never became a member of National Action Network. And as you heard in the first hour, we have everything from arts and culture to youth development to women and to health care and education. All kind of committees. Just started this week a tech academy. All kind of work you can do if you're part of the organization. If you're here today and not John, I want you to come down either aisle to me. Let me sign you up to be a member of National Action Network. Even if you don't have the dues today, come on. Everybody singing. Everybody sing. Everybody singing. Hey, singing like you mean it. Singing like you mean it. Singing like you mean it. We want justice. Got to have justice. Hey. raise our offering. I want everybody to give according to your ability to give. I need about 8 people that can give $100 or more to come quickly. About 8 people. Minister Gilchrist, $100. Thank you. Change Choir, $100. Guardians, $100. Hospitality Committee, $100. She's doing a great job with hospitality. Reverend Dr. Mildred Salters, $100. All right. Thank you. All right. Come on. I need about one more 100. I need about 100 more. All right. Give me some 50s there. 50, 50, 50. Reverend Bartley, $50. I need some 50. The Reverend Dr. Vernon Williams, the personification of fighting violence. Thank you, Reverend. Glad to have you. Glad to have your work. Sister Cunningham, Claire Cunningham, $50. Woodrow Baker, $50. All right, 20s, 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 come on, 20s.